Good morning, St. John's family. Our devotion today is from Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. That word steadfast in the King James is translated stayed on thee. And that's the expression I think of when I'm looking to this verse for encouragement. You will keep in perfect peace him whose mind is stayed on thee. I had to dig in a little bit to the meaning of that word and that phrase to understand better, and found that a lot of the ways it's translated is to lay upon, as in to lay hands upon, to lean on, to place. And one of the predominant places that it's used is in Leviticus when it's speaking of animal sacrifice. The priest would lay their hands upon the animal in faith, transferring sins or guilt or maybe even thankfulness onto the sacrifice. If you put that in our context, we can think of laying our trust upon the Lord. Another way that it's used was in the laying on of hands, as in a consecration or a commissioning, like when Moses laid his hands upon Joshua, commissioning him to lead Israel after him. And so again, there's a transfer in faith of leadership. Finally, in Psalm 54:4, which says, "Behold, God is my helper. The Lord is the sustainer of my soul." That word sustainer is that same word that's translated steadfast or stayed on thee. And in that context, it means to rely on or to be upheld or sustained. If we put all that together and go back to our verse, we say, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds rely on thee, are sustained by thee, are upheld by thee, who have laid their trust upon thee, as in laying hands upon a sacrifice. And we think about, again, that transfer in faith. And last year, Pastor had a sermon that talked about how we each have faith. It's like as if we can hold it out in front of us. And we each get to give our trust to someone or something. And sometimes we give our trust to data or information or knowledge. Or we place our trust in the news media. Or we place our trust in worry. When the Lord would have us to place our trust in Him, to lay it upon Him. And this verse in Isaiah 26 reminds us that if we do that, if we place our cares and our worries and our trust upon Him, that in exchange He will give us perfect peace. And that, I think, is what we all need right now, is perfect peace. When I was talking to my uncle on the phone this morning, he said, how do people who don't know the Lord do it? How do they get through this life without being able to trust Him and know that He will take care of them? And I really don't know. And I told him, I think that's why we're still here. It's because others need that message of hope, that we can place our trust in Him and know that everything will be okay because He walks with us each moment of every day and has determined our final destination. So today, exchange your trust for perfect peace. Place your trust in the one who is worthy of it, and receive His perfect peace for your life today. Be blessed, St. John's.